Alright, just thought I'd show what I'm about to do to the cab. You can see I've got the two cabs here. This one is the 48 cab. Notice the smaller rear window. And the only real difference is on the 58, I've got the larger side window. I'll be ending up with something in between. The entire cab will be made 220 millimeters or nearly 9 inches wider. So the way I'm going to do with this is that using the two cabs on this one here, you can see I'll be cutting just each side of the center cowl vent, which I no longer want, and that will be sectioned out, and then this two sides used of the cowl. Now, to replace the center section that's been cut out, so rather than cutting here and there like on the other one, I'll be cutting the extra 110 millimeters or 4.5 inches through there, and then grafting that back in between the two cowl sides over there. So naturally you'll end up with a 9-inch wider cab. Now, things also being done, the front windscreen or windshield in the US is 50mm shallower than the windows of the doors. So this part here sits that much higher up. Now I'm going to chop the whole roof down the 2 inches or 50mm. Now you can see where the line starts here, and there's 50mm there, and what I've done is I've run a laser light all the way across level. Now you'll see even by the time I get to the corner here it's 56, and when I get to here it's 60, because the slope of the cowl changes as it goes across. So if I just cut an even 50mm out, I would not actually get a 50mm in drop. I actually have to take more because of the slope. So that's what that's showing. Now another thing is when I bring this part down, I'm also going to be adding more than the 220mm. Now the reason for that is if you put this level here, you can see the gap of when that pillar comes down and meets the bottom cut line. So it's 1/8 of an inch or 3mm. So as you can see here, this part I'll be adding 110, but this part up here will be 113mm each side. So that gives me the extra width in the middle to make sure that the pillars line up, so no bending of the pillars like you normally see in a chop top. So that's basically what's doing that way. Now what also will be happening is I'm going to make this cab 7 inches or 175mm longer. These are very short cabs, and I'm over 6'3", so it's not going to be a lot of leg room. So rather than adding it behind the B pillar here that you see a lot on these, I'll be actually making it through the middle of the doorway to give me bigger doors, and then I'll use a pair of doors from each cab to make one larger door. So just cut them oversized and weld them back together again. Sounds simple, but I'm sure it won't be. So I'll move on from here. You can see the spare guards I've got, and here's a couple of bonnets or hoods ready to go, and you can also see the doors from both cabs sitting in there. So they'll be all cut up to make for the wider and longer cab. Now as for the floor, this is the donor floor from the 2008 Grand Cherokee. So the center tunnel is already set up for the 5.7 litre and the 5 or really 6-speed transmission that sits behind them and the transfer case. So I have cut this to the extra length that I want, so the extra 7 inches longer, and turned up this flange all the way along, which can then be spot welded to the back of the cab wall. So the cowl will be hung over the top of this and all the way down. Now I've got this, going to set this up off here, the height of the door sill. So when the cowl sits down on here, this, I'll know exactly how much to add in width to match up to the original floor height of the cab, because I'm using none of the firewall or cab of the original. The only part that will be used from the original cowl is this top part here. What I'm going to do is overlap it, turn a fold on it, and so it'll be secured all the way along this pinch seam. That's what I'm hoping to be able to do. Time will tell. So all this will go on the frame over here, which is just about ready to go out into the garage where the two cabs are sitting. As soon as I've cut them up, I'll push this out and then I can put all my tools and equipment back where they once were. And for those of you that can't work out how I get my things in and out, you might be able to see through here. It's tight, but you can see my camper trailer and my daily driver, the only vehicle we own. And there's the side gates out onto another road, because I live on a corner, so I've got two entrances. So just thought I'd give you a little update before I cut everything up. You might like my Willys and Jeep collection of signs. Also up there is all the different places and states I've been in Australia, and some of the more interesting ones around the world, and one for every state I've been in the US. And I don't think you can see that one there, but that's South America and Turkey, etc. Well, bye for now, and hopefully next time I'll be showing you a whole heap of cut up cab pieces.